I was forced to take my daughter to the hospital, and I honestly couldn't stop laughing about the reason why. I showed up at the school 10 minutes early for pickup, but after waiting 20 minutes, she still hadn't appeared. I went inside to locate her, but instead of my daughter, her teacher, Mrs. Vivian, intercepted me. She wore a look of sheer dread. "There was an incident today," she sighed. I braced myself for the worst. "Paige severely injured another student. The Henderson boy has a head injury." I rolled my eyes internally. I knew exactly who John Henderson was. He was the school's notorious biter. Paige had returned home 3 times that semester with deep purple bite marks on her arms. The administration always brushed it off with talk of boys being boys and his behavioral issues. Now, my sweet daughter, who cries if she accidentally steps on a bug, had somehow hurt this kid. Mrs. Vivian lectured me as we walked down the hall. She claimed violence is never the answer and warned that the parents were threatening a lawsuit. My hands shook. When we reached the office, I saw Paige sitting in an oversized chair, her uniform disheveled and dried blood caked on her sleeve. But she wasn't crying. She actually looked incredibly proud. Before she could explain, the Henderson parents burst into the room. The father was red-faced with rage, holding an ice pack to his son's head. "Your violent brat attacked my son," he screamed. "She shoved him into a wall. We are calling the police." I started to argue, but Paige quietly stood up and rolled back her bloody sleeve, revealing massive, fresh bite marks that had broken the skin. "He bit me first," she stated calmly, "but that is not why I pushed him." Mrs. Vivian intervened and explained the situation. John had cornered a terrified kindergartner named Rosie behind the playground. Rosie wears leg braces and couldn't run. When John tried to attack, Paige stepped right in the middle. John bit Paige's arm violently, but she didn't even flinch. When John tried to maneuver around her to get to the little girl, Paige finally shoved him hard against the brick wall. I looked at the furious parents, then at my daughter's bleeding arm, and a fierce pride washed over me. "Show me his injury," I demanded. The mom pointed to a barely visible bump under the ice pack. "Now look at my daughter's arm," I snapped, my voice turning icy cold. "That is 100 times worse. I am a lawyer, and what your son did qualifies as felony assault on a minor. I can have you all questioned immediately." The mom started stammering excuses about his issues. I took Paige to the clinic for treatment. When she returned to school the next week, John was permanently gone. His parents were so terrified of my lawsuit threat that they pulled him out of the district. The funniest part of all? I am not even a lawyer.